The following presentation of the Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from Ralph's Food for Less, the nation's premier price impact supermarket chain. Food for Less is proud to be working with the community to enhance the lives of everyone by providing a diverse selection of products and customer service, and by reaching out to support the communities in which we serve.
You're watching Channel 22, the best sports coverage in the South Bay.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lou House, Thompson Gymnasium, along with Rufus Washington and the terrific Channel 22 sports crew. I'm Lou Stowers, welcoming you to CIF High School Basketball, Division 1A, against the number 3 Leuzinger Olympians, hosting the defending champion, number 14 Leuzinger Olympians.
There you go.
Number 3 Los Alamitos Griffins, and it should be a barn burner tonight.
Oh, it certainly should be, Lou. This is a matchup that a year ago would have been prime time, and a year later it still is prime time, as you have the Leuzinger Olympians taking on the defending CIF Division 1A champion and state semifinalist from last year.
It's going to be a track meet with the little guys against the size and the wingspan of the big guys. And how do you think it's going to stack up in a playoff game of this magnitude?
Well, it's going to be interesting, Lou. It really will be. We talked with both coaches beforehand. They both acknowledges each one's strength. As you mentioned, it's Leuzinger's speed against the size of LaSalle. When you're talking about a team that has a front line of 6'10", 6'9", 6'5" point guard, wow, it's hard to match up against, but Reggie has a game plan that he thinks can counter that.
That's right. As Reggie Morris says, he's just going to let the guys run and try to let Los Alamitos' Griffins catch them, but experience is on their side, especially when you have a guy like Cameron Jones and Clint Amberry.
Cameron Jones, Clint Amberry, and even Corbin Moore. All of those guys have been through this war once before, and they've enjoyed success over the last 3 years. LaSalle, folks, make no mistake about it, one of the premier programs in Orange County. Except tonight, they ain't in Orange County.
That's right. But they did seem like it was the last person out of LaSalle. Turn the lights out. You must have led the parade up here. But a strange twist tonight, Rufus, as Coach Russ May is going to start the sophomore Clark Evans tonight. So that's going to be a big difference.
Well, he's adding even more size to it. Clark Evans starting quarterback on the football team. We'll see how long football coach wants to see him in there against this type of competition. But what that does, you're exactly right, that just adds more more height to an already impressive lineup. Fans are going to see a great brand of basketball tonight, and that's what playoff basketball is all about.
And hopefully for Reggie Morris's Olympians, that's going to be 5 more fouls out there, because that's just going to take up space out there. Maybe the quarterback doesn't have the wind that some of these other guys do. Donnell Beverly, Derek Strings, you saw them up in Santa Barbara last weekend. Derek Strings again putting the team, taking some of the pressure off of Donnell Beverly.
Derek Strings came out in the second half, opened the third quarter with 3 straight three-pointers. The Olympians down by 11 at the half, end up winning by 11 in what was one of the most awesome second halves we've ever seen this Olympian team put on.
And it's going to be about possessions, Coach May said. Who can keep the ball in their hands? Can the Olympians, being their fast team, can their hands keep up with their feet?
Well, we know the Olympians are great ball handlers, and we also know it's about defense. What Coach May was saying is that I hope my guys keep possession of the ball, because he's very knowledgeable about the quality of Leuzinger's defense. The other thing to note that's a sidebar to this is that these are 2 great young coaches, both in their 5th year. We all know Reggie Morris and certainly Russ May, the head coach of LaSalle, another young coach. 2 dynamic young brains going at it in what should be an exciting game.
Now let's take a look at our graphic of the tail of the tape, as it were, of these 2 teams, the Griffins and the Olympians. And let's see if we have it up here. And do we have that? We don't have that. All right. Well, we'll give you the tail of the tape, the starting lineups, and the opening tip-off next, as exciting CIF Division 1A action is going to tip off here at Lou House against the Griffins and the Olympians, coming up on Channel 22 Sports.
Woo, as Ric Flair would say. Good
back
evening.
at Lou.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to another exciting Channel 22 sports presentation. I'm Rufus Washington, joined by Lou Stowers. Lou, first of all, welcome back. I know you've been under the weather a bit. Great to be back alongside you.
Well, thanks a lot. Kind of limped into the Cardinal nest, winged up, but it's good to be back and almost healthy.
And now we're here at Lou House getting ready for fans. A tremendous matchup tonight. It's the second round playoff game in the 2007 CIF Toyota Boys Basketball Championship Division 1A, as the Leuzinger Olympians are playing host to the Los Alamitos Griffins from Los Alamitos in Orange County. Let's get ready for the starting lineups, and being introduced first are the Griffins from Los Al. Well, the crowd's reached a fever pitch, Lou. Leuzinger fans are a little slow in getting here, but their numbers are starting to grow as we go along.
Well, they could have dinner at home before they got here, so that's one good thing. But Los Al, like we said in the pregame, brought everybody in.
And now you see Cameron Jones, number 23. He's their point guard. His cousin last year played on his team, Landry Fields, now at Stanford. He'll be a Division I player. Next out, Clark Evans. He's a football player. I haven't seen his basketball skills. I can tell you this, though. He can pump the rock, that's for sure. This guy, number 20, Clint Amberry, Division I player, has basketball in his blood. Lou, grandfather, the greatest free throw shooter of all time.
Didn't he play in the ABA?
In the NBA, his dad's over there. That's Daryl Davis. Daryl's first year on varsity, came through the program as well.
Looks like all these Los Al Griffins have hit the weight room.
And now you got the senior Rave Lewis, came over a couple of years ago from Los Al Poly, number 5. That rounds out the Los Al lineup. Now, let's get ready for your own Leuzinger Olympians. Lou, you know them as well as I do when we get her name. Remind the fans of how great these guys are and what they've accomplished. First guy out for the Olympians, Miles Allen.
Now, Miles Allen has been a nice surprise, a nice addition. 5'11", 165-pounder. His time has increased, and his averages have increased, too.
And a great interview. The next one, Kevin Hodrick.
And they're going to need Kevin Hodrick and his football skills out there. 6'1", 190-pound senior. His averages have been going up, too. They're going to need that muscle underneath.
Next got Dominique Coy getting the start tonight.
Dominique, one of the nice surprises again, have been getting starts in time because of all of the drop-offs on this team. Dominique, 6'4", 181, the tallest of the Olympians.
Number 23, Derek Strings.
Derek, what can you say about him? If you added one numeral to him, number 24, he'd look like a young Kobe.
And last but not least, number 2, Donnell Beverly Jr.
What a career Donnell has had on the heels of last year's success with Russell Westbrook, and Donnell joining that parade of Division I players as we are done with the starting lineups.
Well, one thing about it, we can talk the game all night, but sooner or later, you got to play it, and that's what all these fans are here to see. A great Leuzinger crowd, a great crowd from Los Al, and we're just about ready for the tip, fans. Both teams will be taking the floor as we get this one underway. While we've got a break, it gives us a chance to mention to fans that the girls will be in action tomorrow night as they won their first round game against Burbank Burroughs, and they're playing right here at Thompson Gymnasium.
That's right, they're playing my old alma mater, Foothill High School, as the point guard walks by us, the senior. I told her the only way that they can win is if she skins up her knees.
Well, we're prepared for the opening tip-off. It's going to be Dominique Coy jumping against Clint Amberry. Dominique at about 6'4", Amberry at 6'10". Tip controlled by the Griffins. Ball's in Rave Lewis's hand. He's running point. This is a bit of an interesting twist because Cameron Jones, normally the point, looks like he may run in the 2 spot. Miles Allen right now trying to defend him. They get over in the corner, Daryl Davis.
I think what Russ May did early on in creating the starting lineup, Rufus, was to match up the speed of the Olympians.
Well, that's certainly what he tried to do. Olympian defense right now in the front, near turnover forced by the Olympians. Ball in Amberry's hand, and get an early foul. That'll go against Miles Allen.
Miles Allen reaching in, almost got the turnover. That's what they are hoping for, as Clint Amberry was in trouble.
And one of the things I think we can see is that they're going to pressure the ball, certainly when it's in the hands of the big man. They get it into Rave Lewis. Rave looks like putting a rubber band on to keep his hair from flopping around. Looking to go baseline. Over in the corner, brings it out. Close to a 5-second count. There's Daryl Davis. Now it's Cameron Jones. Have yet to see a shot in this game, almost a minute of action. And there's our first shot from the baseline, from the short corner, Cameron Jones.
Well, this team, just looking at the stats, Rufus, the Griffins do not shoot a whole lot of outside shots. They wait to get those higher percentage shots from about 15 feet
Ball
in.
in the hand, Donnell Beverly gives it off to Strings. Cross court to Beverly. Now on the inside, down low. Wow, a turnover that time by the Olympians. Kevin Hodrick trying to hit Miles Allen.
One too many passes.
Ball on the wing. Big man still not a factor. Now he drives the basket, puts it up. Can't get it to go. Ball loose. Olympians go up and get it. Now slowing it down is Miles Allen. Gets it over to Donnell Beverly. That's a wise choice.
How about Miles Allen, the littlest guy out there, getting the rebound?
Miles last week guarded 6'5" Julian Stone of Dos Pueblos and did an outstanding job on it. The Olympians still looking to take their first shot. We've got 6 minutes left. That Strings, his shot goes up, doesn't go down. Donnell Beverly comes up with it, attacks the big man, lays on the rim, finally goes down. Donnell Beverly, and we're tied at 2, just under 6 minutes in the first.
And Donnell got around Clint Amberry, who just stood there, didn't want to get the foul.
Leuzinger showing some pressure in the backcourt, but LaSalle handles it. Jones now gets it over to Lewis. Lewis obviously not looking to shoot the three-pointer. Cameron Jones sizes it up again, now swings the other way. Double team, looks for somebody, finds Lewis. Lewis won't shoot. That's one of the things I see now, close to a 5-second count. Daryl Davis has it. He attacks the basket, puts it up, comes off. Ball's loose underneath. Davis has it, swings it over, goes out of bounds. Good hustle by both teams on that play, but it goes over to the Olympians.
That's right. As the Olympians, now their speed is starting to turn up a little bit, Rufus, underneath. As the Griffins, you can see them start to play up, where the Olympians are starting to speed up.
Olympians with their opportunity to take their first lead of the game. It's a 2-2 ball game right now. 24 left on the shot clock. They get it inside. There's the shot outside. Miles Allen thinks twice about it. Gives it over to Dominique Coy. His three-pointer put up, doesn't go. Allen comes down with the rebound, attacks the basket. They get the offensive rebound, shot blocked. Cameron Jones brings it the other way, and the hesitation dribble goes against him. And Cameron Jones says, I get that call every night down in the OC.
Well, these are Long Beach officials. Frank Abregon and Randy Allen are the officials tonight. And he says, you're not getting it here. This is the Lou House.
This is Lou House. So
now the Griffins are playing a 2-3 zone to start things off tonight.
And quite frankly, that works too, in my mind's eye, the advantage of the Olympians. But the reason they're playing that, Lou, is that they don't want the big man chasing. And that's one of the things that Reggie told us he wants to see if he can do, is get these guys tired out. Getting inside, putting it up and in is Kevin Hodrick.
Beautiful play by
Corbin Moore.
Beautiful play by Hodrick to get both of the big men in the air before he laid it up and in for the easy basket.
Well, LaSalle certainly going to their advantage. They're getting it inside to the big men. That's a couple of looks that Amberry has had. And Donnell Beverly answers the other way.
First lead of the game.
Amberry, they had numbers, but Amberry not being the ball handler. Now we're going to get another foul called against the Olympians. Okay, looks like he's going to call that one on Dominique Coy. Had a concern.
As Dominique Coy is in there against Cameron Jones. Boy, he really knows how to lean into that player. Cameron Jones coming in as an 81% free throw shooter. And the Stowers jinx works that time.
It works that time. Cameron Jones misses the front end of a two-shot opportunity. Now Christian Stribling comes in the ball game.
Stribling comes in. Coy is out. So that's actually one good player for another.
So Jones makes 1 out of 2, makes it a 6-5 ball game. 3:50 left here in the first quarter. Stribling out top, gets it in to Donnell Beverly. He puts up the jumper, and it's good. And this is a good omen for the Olympians, Lou, because Derek Strings has yet to get untracked.
As the Griffins are not moving, so they're just staying in that 2-3 zone. And Donnell Beverly is taking what the Griffins are giving him.
And that's why Rodvay Lewis hasn't been shooting, as we can see. Wow, this inside muscle, that was Corbin Moore on the putback there. Corbin, 6'9", junior.
Wow, where did he come from?
One of those LaSalle players who have coached since he was from the 4th grade to the 8th grade. And Donnell Beverly puts it up and in. 10-7 our score.
That's 8 points for Beverly. Well, I just love the way Cameron Jones plays, Rufus. He just takes it to the rack and will get the foul every time.
Well, Cameron Jones on the attack to the basket. Does draw the foul, doesn't get the shot to go, so he's going to go to the line again to shoot 2. Our score 10-7 here on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
And Donnell Beverly's hotter than a $2 pistol. 8 points, Rufus. As Cameron Jones now 2 out of 3 from the free throw line. The last foul was on Kristen Stribling. That's 3 team fouls on the Olympians. And as usual, the Griffins are foul free. This is a very clean playing team.
Clean playing team. Very, we'll call it that. Here's the second free throw. That one's good. Our score now 10-9. 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Couple of substitutions for the Griffins. There's the first one, is still on the floor. They get it inside. That shot put up and in by Dylan Ratliff, the junior.
And that gets the lead back for the Griffins for the first time, as Ratliff's sneakers aren't even warm up yet.
Well, he's a pure shooter. His dad, of course, 1968 Olympian, played at Long Beach State, Ed Ratliff.
A junior averaging 5 points a game and another turnover. That's the third one on the Olympians.
Turnover for the Olympians as Stribling to go off. And now we have Reggie signaling for a timeout. One of the things, timeout being taken by the Leuzinger Olympians. Indication is that it's a 30 as our score, 2:30 left in the first quarter, 11-10 in favor of the Griffins. What you got, Lou?
Well, we have the Division 1A CIF Southern Section Boys Basketball Championship bracket here, as the number 3 Griffins are taking on the number 14 Olympians here at Thompson Gym. Meanwhile, Chino Hills is taking on Etiwanda. Chino Hills ranked seated 11th, and Etiwanda was seated 8th coming in. Check that, 6th coming in. And so the winner of this game will get the winner of that game. And number 1 in this bracket is Redondo. So the Olympians, that's on the other side of the bracket, though.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be nice? A woulda, coulda, shoulda, but they got a real tough.
There's a lot of work still left to be done. So we're back to action. Olympians now bring Randall Baker on the floor, along with Miles Allen. That's Darrell Davis in the corner. Olympians moving a little bit more on their feet, and we've yet to see Juice Dees, and this is Miles Allen. Darrell Davis with the handle. Davis not really a ball handler. They can't draw it. Moore goes up, puts it in. Corbin Moore. Again, that's what it's hard to match up with, is the size of LaSalle. And we talked about that in the pregame, and we keep seeing it come into effect.
Well, size, you just don't teach that, do you?
Wow.
That was a foul that wasn't called.
So they come back the other way. Davis with it, gets it inside to Moore. And once again, attacking the basket. They get it on the rebound, can't get it to go. Donnell Beverly now has it. 13-10 our score. Over in the corner, Derek Strings, his first attempt won't go. Rebound controlled by Amberry of Los Alamitos. 1:25 left in the first, 13-10 our score in favor of the Griffins.
The Olympians are going to have to figure out how to get over the height.
15-10 now, and that's the biggest lead here in the first quarter. The height right now, as you mentioned, posing some problems for the Olympians. Of course, it sure hurts not to have Deshaun Freeman. Now they get it inside, put it up and in. And Amberry comes up limping just a little bit, it would appear. Now they're showing the pressure. Marcel breaks it, gets it underneath, score the basket. So that's what a well-coached team does. Our score is 17-12 in favor of La Salle.
I was going to say,
36 seconds.
Dominique just snapped a 6-0 run. But the Griffins come right back.
And this will be an easy one. And Cameron Jones slam dunks to make it a 19-12 ball game with 20 seconds left.
Well, the turnover turned into a fast break, and so far now the Griffins are doing it on both ends with the size and the speed.
That one kicked out of bounds. Well,
so we're going to get to some substitutions. Miles Allen's going to come off.
Well, official.
Or maybe he's going to get some, see what's going to happen here. The officials are playing with the clock now.
Right, getting the clock adjustment. They set it at 7 seconds, a little over 7 seconds left here in the first. Juice Deason will make his first appearance.
Coming back in, Kristen Stribling.
Donnell Beverly with the ball in his hand. Deason got to shoot
shoot
soon.
it.
Shot goes up, it's good if it goes, doesn't go. And that'll end the first quarter here at Lou House. And after one, the Leuzinger Olympians find themselves on the short end of the score at 12-19, Lou. Some of the things you saw early in that first quarter that Leuzinger is going to have to address.
The height. I mean, that's just it right there in a nutshell. They were out rebounded by 3 people. Clint Amberry, Cameron Jones, and Clark Evans. Also, Corbin Moore in there. Just went in there and took charge over the Olympians. The Olympians, I like the way they started out early, got some confidence with some early buckets, but then with the score 10-7, the Griffins went on a nice run of an 8-0 run.
Went on an 8-0 run that made all the difference. As you mentioned, it was 10-7, and at the end of the quarter, it ends up being 19-12. So a rather inauspicious start for the Olympians, but remember, fret not. It went up to Dos Pueblos down by 11 at the half. Of course, they'd be the first to tell you that this team isn't Dos Pueblos, but one of the things that I noticed in terms of the Olympian was that the pressure that they wanted to exert wasn't really there. Would have thought it would have seen Juice Deason a little bit earlier in that quarter. He didn't come in until the last 20 seconds or so.
And also the Griffins' 2-3 zone defense lulled the Olympians to sleep, because then they started to move around a little bit, and that's when they got the turnovers. And actually, Rufus, Los Alamitos ended the first quarter with a 12-2 run.
Stribling's going to have to be a force inside and know that he wants to look outside, but he has got to. Wow. And there he was bumped there with no call. Donnell attacks the basket, and finally you're going to get a call to go against the Griffins. And their crowd, boy, first call of the game against them. They're a feisty bunch.
That's right. That foul was on Corbin Moore, his first personal. Yeah, he just really whacked Donnell Beverly, who gets his first chance at the foul line, Rufus.
Donnell at the line to shoot, too. Donnell, an excellent free throw shooter on the season. Converts the first, makes it a 19-13 game now.
Donnell 71% from the foul line.
Donnell gets a pair, and now we start to see this losing Olympian full court pressure. As more, now you got the ball in the hands of the big guys. They get it off to Rave Lewis, the point guard. He'll be pressured by Juice Deason. Donnell Beverly guarding Cameron Jones, so that's mano against mano there. Amberry gets it underneath, and Corbin Moore misses it. Ball still loose. They can't come away with it. Now the Griffins maintain. They get it to Jones, who gives it over to Lewis. Lewis does not look to shoot at all. One of the few times I've seen a player, Lou, who simply will not look for a shot.
Now that's unusual, and actually Los Alamitos gave it back to the Olympians where they really could have stuck the dagger in them this time down, especially when they got 2 offensive rebounds on that one shot.
And remember this, fans, Derek Strings, who's not on the floor right now, is yet to get started.
Kevin Hodrick dinged up a little bit.
Kevin Hodrick over on the wing. They look to get it inside. They do to Donnell. Now Juice Beason has a Juice's three-pointer. Comes off hard. Griffin's running. They got numbers. Shot put up and in by the Griffins. That's Dylan Ratliff. Makes that score 21-14.
Well, they sure know how to finish, don't they?
Olympians still looking to get their outside shot going. Another turnover. That's a couple now for the Olympians. And boy, they're not retreating back on defense as quickly as they need to. Ratliff's shot from the outside doesn't go. They get beat to the board.
Should be a travel. Nope. It's a score.
And that shot put up and in by Corbin Moore. And so now we see the size of the Olympians as it's a 9-point ball game. And the Olympians forced into another timeout on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable, Channel 22, with our score 23-14, 6:12 left in the first half.
Well, the Griffins know how to turn on the speed too, Rufus, and they just look like the bigger team out there, and they are the bigger team. Obviously spent a lot more time in the weight room, and you know what? We saw this last year once the Olympians got to that point where the bigger schools like the Venturas and the Redlands, East Valleys got in. They were the bigger, bulkier teams. That should be a clue to get in the weight room in the offseason.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that you'll find happening, remember now, this is the first half. The question still will be whether or not the big men can stand up to this over a 32-minute cycle. And I think the rest of the way, they're still going to see pressure. One of the things that Coach Morris said they wanted to do when he talked to us in the pregame was run, and come with the pressure that they have. Try to tire them out. So far, as you mentioned, not doing a real good job of tiring them out.
Now, Corbin Moore right now just taking advantage of the timeout. Looks a little tired. His cheeks are getting flushed. But you have that kid out there.
Forces yet another turnover. Olympians get back in a near steal. That's Akil Quinn that's on the floor. So Coach Morris, just like I said, Coach Morris just made a substitute to bring Akil Quinn on, so he's trying to get some speed on of his own. It'll be Leuzinger ball to inbound underneath. They get inside to Moore. He looks back to Rattler, swing it over to Jones. Now they've got another substitute, that's Amberry there. Ratliff with it up top. Jones will take the jumper from distance, and he scores. 25-14 is the margin now. 11-point game. That's the largest lead of the game for LaSalle. Miles Allen with it. The crowd trying to get him into it. Shot put up and in by Derek Strings. Was that Strings? I'm sorry. No, that wasn't Strings. We'll get that straight for you in a second. Anytime it's a three-pointer, I think Strings, but you got D. Morgan on the floor as well. 8-point game. They go down underneath. That one's going to be knocked away. Olympians come away with it. Now they're running. You got to attack the big guy. That's what they do and draw the foul. That's where your success will come, Lou. When you got big men, you just take it straight at them. And guys who can create their own shot, like Donnell Beverly, can enjoy a measure of success in doing that.
Just take it right to him, and that's the first foul on Amberry. Second team foul.
Here you see on the replay, Lou, Donnell going in, attacking the big man, goes right at him, gives him the old body.
Would have been nice to get the bucket, but Donnell will take the opportunity at the line as he has 11 points now.
Well, Donnell's made 5 straight free throws now. So that raises the score at 25-18.
So D. Morgan doing some nice work off the bench, and now Derek Strings comes back in. Big free throw. All of them are going to be big here tonight for the Olympians.
Second one goes as well. Boy, Donnell's hit nothing but net. Once again, they're showing full court pressure. Got a couple of guys in there that are not particularly expert ball handlers. They get it to one now, though. In terms of Cameron Jones, his shot up doesn't go. Davis on the board. Again, no block out that time by the Olympians.
Well, Daryl Davis was in the right place at the right time, and the Olympians weren't. I tell you, who's really made the difference on the Griffins team is number 3, Dylan Ratliff. He's come in and matched the speed of the Olympians and done a lot of damage.
Miles Allen's shot doesn't go. He's underneath, puts it up. It's knocked away by Corbin Moore. And so with 4:29 left on the clock on the dead ball, the Olympians trail by a margin of 27-19. So, ball comes in, it's loose. Ratliff comes up with it, makes the steal. Nearly traveled, no call there. Now you got a 10-second count. They get it across to Cameron Jones. Jones comes around. He's met by Randall Baker. Randall Baker pressuring. Crowd thinking there's another travel. Daryl Davis shot put up and in, makes it 29-19. We're going to get a foul call against Daryl Davis. On the hole. And that's the 15th foul for the 15th foul against the Olympians. Third foul, looks like they're saying on, third team foul, excuse me.
Each team with 3 team fouls, and that was the first on Davis.
Another turnover by the Olympians.
Now the Olympians have 8 turnovers unofficially, and the Griffins 4.
Once again, they get the ball inside to the big man. He puts it up, doesn't go. Coy comes down with it. Akil Quinn pushing it up, has Strings on the wing. Olympians real sloppy with the ball right now. They get inside to Coy. He gives it back off to Beverly for the short jumper. Donnell gets it to go. Donnell is the offense tonight for the Olympians.
And now that makes it 29-21.
Davis drives the baseline, can't get it to go, and now we're going to have a push against Daryl Davis, and that should be his second, if I'm not mistaken, because they just called one earlier. So for all their troubles, the Olympians are still hanging around here in what has been a turnover-plagued first half. They've yet to get Derek Strings untacked, and basically it's a one-man show, Donnell Beverly.
Now Donnell with 14 points tonight, also perfect from the foul line. Somebody needs to help him out. Somebody needs to step up and help him out.
One of the things they've done is put Akil Quinn at the guard to give him a little more height. And you're right, boy, it's tough finding the hole in that zone. There's a shot put up by Quinn. It doesn't go. He's not your outside shooter that you want to put in this situation. The freshman's a good player. He's got good potential, but this is a tough situation for him.
Sure is. He just skied that one. Made sure that wasn't going to be short.
They force a turnover. That's what you got to do when they put the ball in the big man's hand. Donnell Beverly attacks the basket. He can't get it to go. Ball's loose. Now we're going the other way. Quinn there. Quinn makes a freshman mistake. You'll see him come out right now. You got to either play the man or the ball. Lets him go right by him. Extends the lead back to 10.
Beautiful play by Donnell on the other side.
Donnell Beverly again keeping them close. 31-23. 2 minutes left. Olympians haven't led since it was 10-7. We're swinging over now to Cameron Jones. He gets underneath, puts it up and in. Leuzinger, a good team at making adjustments at the halftime. Clearly, in this game, they're going to need to make some.
Oh, that's for sure, Rufus. To hang on to the ball is.
Donnell's three-pointer doesn't go. LaSalle comes away with it. Moore with the rebound, gets it underneath to Amberry. And boy, that's way too easy. As now,
Well, this is turning into a laugher here right now as Amberry gets the hoop and the harm. And we'll just watch this one coming down. And there's nothing that could be done but to foul him. Actually, just let the guy go. But Miles Allen gets his second personal and the fourth team foul. Amberry shooting 74% from the foul line.
So that extends the score. Now it's a 13-point deficit.
Now, the Olympians are just going to have to hold on to the ball, and then when they get those high percentage opportunities, they just can't miss. Is another turnover.
Turnover coming, and once again, a clinic being put on right now. 38-23 in favor of LaSalle. Olympians get it underneath. Hodrick can't convert. Ball still loose. They come away with it. They got numbers going the other way. Wow, looked like a push off there. And what are we going to have here? A hold call against the Olympians. That will send Clark Evans, the quarterback, to the line to shoot two.
So Clark coming down, and he was fouled by Kristen Stribling. That's his second personal, 15 foul. As that was definitely a football foul. And that looked like a lateral.
Football player, he's used to that kind of contact, and trust me, Evans is a running quarterback for the LaSalle Griffins, so he knows contact when he gets it. Can't get the free throw to go.
And that one goes out of bounds on the cut. Derek Strings was already gone, and the bench of Reggie Morris, even though he didn't want to admit it tonight, is a little thin.
Well, he's a little flustered, but they're a good halftime team, and they're good at making adjustments. They've got to make a lot of adjustments here if they expect to make this one competitive. Rodvay Lewis with the handle. He's running the point. Cameron Jones, who's also very capable, ran it last year, plays a shooting guard. He gets it, goes inside, puts it up, doesn't go. Olympians come down with it. That's Donnell Beverly. They're looking to run. 30 seconds left here in the first half. Looking for Strings. That's the guy they need to find. Wow, going inside. Miles Allen can't get anything out of it. Lewis with the handle. He gives it off to Corbin Moore. Corbin Moore lays it up and in. 17-point deficit now for the Olympians at 40-23. Blocking foul called there on Ratliff.
That's his first personal, 15 foul. And tell you what, every time, whether it's a rebound or a turnover, Reggie Morris has watched the Griffins run right by him in quick transition, and they've always, it seemed like, at least a large percent of the time, had the numbers.
A basket here would be big, and boy, they need one. 5 seconds left. There's Donnell, goes inside, draws the foul. That's good. Let's see who this goes against. They give it to number 20. That's Amberry.
And that's his second personal.
And
as you see him come down, Donnell using the body real nice, trying to get that bucket to go down. But he'll take the 2 shots at the foul line.
Donnell's converted 6 consecutive free throws already here in the first half. Wow. So the string comes to an end at 6. 2.3 seconds left here.
Well, Donnell Beverly has had himself quite a half, 16 points.
Beverly's second free throw is good. Now you got to play good defense for 2 seconds. That shot put up with the luck they're having, that was liable to go. So, boy, the teams will go to the locker room with the Griffins of LaSalle, the Beast from the South, the defending Division 1A champion here at Lou House, have staked themselves out to an early big lead here at halftime, 40-24 on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
All right, well, why don't we take a timeout, and we'll get the scores and everything else and be back for the third quarter tip-off right after this on Channel 22 Sports.
How you doing? This is Russell Westbrook from the Leuzinger Olympians and UCLA Bruins. You're watching the Game of the Week.
All right, we're back, fans, for the start of the second half here at Lou House as the Olympians find themselves in a huge hole at 40-24. Lou, as we start to take the second half, what's the magic potion for the Olympians?
Well, let's go over some scoring first here in the second half. The defending CIF champion Griffins, 6 points for Dylan Ratliff, who I thought was the defensive stopper for them in the game so far. Daryl Davis with 6, Clint Amberry with 7. Their leading scorer, Cameron Jones, with 13 points. He averages 18. Corbin Moore with 8 points. The Olympians, no points for Miles Allen, 17 points for Donnell Beverly, and 2 points for Dominique Coy. Kevin Hodrick with 2, 3 for Randall Baker, but the big goose egg, Derek Strings. And now Ratliff is the one who's been defending Strings here for most of the first half. That's the big key, I think, is to get Derek Strings to help out Donnell Beverly.
Well, Derek is definitely going to have to step up. You're right. With him having a goose egg, I'm not quite sure what it is. I'll be honest with you. That'd be giving a whole lot of credit to Dylan. He's a good basketball player, but Derek Strings is a shooter par excellence. And I think when we see the second half unfold, you're going to see something a little different as they inbound it right in front of our camera position. And there you see the Olympians starting with more pressure defense. That's Kevin Hodrick against Rave Lewis. Miles Allen on Cameron Jones. This second half start will be real interesting here. Once again, they go to the corner. That's Amber's shot put up, doesn't go. Gets the offensive rebound, puts it back up, still can't get it to go. Ball's down underneath. And now we're going to get a foul called against the Olympians as that'll send Amberry to the line to shoot 2.
That was just all Amberry on that one, as he got 2 rebounds on that and earned those 2 shots at the line.
Well, Amberry converts the first of the 2. No surprise there, as you see on the replay. And there you see the hand in there. Good call by the official, Randy Allen. Amberry with a pair extends the lead now to 18 at 42-24.
And the Griffins, just to lay some more bad news on the Olympians, ended the second half with a 17-3 run.
Donnell Beverly gets it inside and underneath the Hodrick shot blocked by Amberry. And it'll be out of bounds to the Griffins underneath their basket. There you see a shot of Clint. He's a Division I player.
That's right. He'll have a whole bunch of opportunities to really punch his own ticket once the season's over for them. But good idea on the backdoor play by the Olympians last time down.
There's Strings' first shot in the second half. It doesn't go. Lewis comes down. I think you can play him not to shoot, and that's pretty much what they do. Jones with it. He loses the handle inside. A lot of hands by LaSalle. You would think that would draw a foul eventually, but it doesn't. And instead, a turnover by Kevin Hodrick trying to hit a streaking Donnell Beverly.
I don't want to sound like a homer here, Rufus, but sure seems like the officials are giving the Griffins the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the fouls.
Well, it's certainly an interesting perspective. I thought that with this being a Long Beach unit, and there's another foul called there. Boy, that looked like a good shot block by Dominique Coy, and that one will send Corbin Moore to the line. Here you see on the replay, he goes up, came across. I saw the ball, but I can understand the call that Frank Obregon made from the angle. It certainly would have given the impression that it came across his arm.
Well, again, I'm going to say this again, and I don't mean to be a homer. That's 9 points for Moore. But I've seen the same non-call against a guy in a white jersey that was going up and the ball was blocked.
Well,
so I'm just asking for consistency both ways from the guys in the striped shirts.
Absolutely. Second shot by Moore is put up and in. So that makes our score now 44-24 at 20, the largest of the game. Strings gets it on. Strings attacks the basket, puts it up and in as he goes right at the big man.
And that's about time. Derek Strings averaging over 19 points a game, Rufus. That's his first bucket of the game.
A little more pressure being applied by the Olympians. Davis now on the wing. Davis not a threat to drive. Juice Deason gives it away. Corbin Moore lays it up and in.
Up some good pressure, but somebody forgot the biggest guy in the court.
Strings with it out front, still looking for his shot. 6 minutes left in the third. 46-26 our score.
Well, that last play was just all experience, just knowing where you have to be on the court. Good play.
13 left on the shot clock. Miles Allen with it. He gives it over to Donnell Beverly. Donnell outside. Donnell goes inside, puts it up, follows the shot that he missed. 18-point ball game now. Olympians still needing to pressure the ball in order to have any success and hopefully force some turnovers.
There's 19 points for Donnell Beverly, and he's doing it all on his own.
The pressure in the ball when it comes to the big man. Rave Lewis has it now. He slows it down. 14 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Lewis had a wide open three, but didn't take it.
Amberry can hit that shot. Doesn't that time, but the rebound comes down. That one put up and in by Cameron Jones on the reverse layup.
Boy, is he something special or what?
To get it under the Juice Deason, he goes up. A lot of contact there. Whistle call, boy, the Olympians get one that time from Randy Allen.
Now that's the third personal foul. First team foul here in the half, so they finally got him after 2 fouls were committed. They got one. And Dominique Coy will go to the line.
And just a moment about the officiating, one of the things that we thought that would perhaps favor the Olympians was a crew that was used to seeing the kind of basketball that the Olympians typically play. That's a little more physical, a little more in your face. However, that hasn't been of much of a consequence in their effort tonight, as most of the calls, as you mentioned, have gone against them.
Now the Griffins have gone small. Anbury with 3 fouls sits down, and there's that kid, number 3, Dylan Ratliff, back in.
So Dominique Coy to shoot the second. And he gets it to go.
But you got to hand it to the Griffins, Rufus, because they are giving what the referees are allowing them to get. And they're taking it. And they're just testing out the officials to see what they can get away with.
Griffins come with the pressure. They create it. There's a steal there. And score the basket. And Frank Obregon, much to our dismay down at the other end, called a foul. We couldn't hear the whistle. Take that basket away from the Olympians.
Well, how can he see it from 90 feet away?
Well, let's see if we can get the replay here.
Oh, okay,
we'll see
down
the
there.
action in front of us.
From 60 feet away. Okay, there's the tie-up on the replay.
And here's the thing, you got the ref right under there. Boy, now that was on his line because he's playing the sideline. But I got to tell you, you've got the trail official 30 feet across from the play, and another guy who's 60 feet away from the play makes the call.
Wasn't Randy Jones right next to the play?
Randy Allen.
Randy Allen?
Randy Allen was directly across, trailing the play. If we watch it again, this is what you're going to see.
So, okay, we'll take the points away.
So they take it away, makes it an 18-point game, still with the double. Olympians coming with the pressure now, picking it up. Randall Baker. And that one's still, let's see, okay, they say the Olympians knocked it away. 26 on the shot clock. Fans, it's 4:32 left in the third. Olympians down by 18 at 48-30. And Cameron Jones with the 3 extends it now to a 21-point deficit.
As Jones has 18 points on the night.
Not being able to get the shot to go is Donnell Beverly, Corbin Moore, with the rebound. Jones looks underneath, gets it to Brucalari. The seldom used Brucalari scores a basket, and now we have a timeout taken by the Olympians as our score now stands 53-30 in favor of the Griffins from Los Alamitos.
Well, everyone's coming out now for the Griffins. That's Nick Bertulleri the 6'3" senior, with his first bucket of the game, his first action of the game, as the Griffins just keep on rolling. They just came out of the locker room. Reggie Morris kept the Olympians in until about a minute left in halftime. I'm sure going over some strategies, but the Griffins have just flown right by the Olympians.
Well, you can see where we got 4:08. If there's a run to be made right now by the Griffins, that run's going to have to be made with this lineup that's on the floor. This lineup favors them a little bit more. The only big guy on the floor for them is Corbin Moore. Corbin, of course, at 6'9", a junior, and we've already seen his offensive exploits tonight, as well as being an excellent defensive player. I see his mom and dad across the way, along with his grandparents.
And he's got one more year to go.
He's got another year to go. You're right. He's been a 3-year varsity player, came in as a freshman, played JV freshman year, and has been varsity ever since.
And why not? He's got that big, wide body, 6'9".
Well, you sure would like to see the Olympians at least be able to give Derek Stream something to get him going.
And another shot. Derek Strings makes the 3, but Obregon calls it off again.
So that's the second basket by the Olympians that Obregon has called off. That's 5 Olympian points. That's 5 Olympian points that he's cost them so far.
And I'm sure that Reggie Moore would rather have the points than the fouls.
Absolutely. Miles Allen with it out top. Miles Allen looking for a place to go. Gets it in the center. That's Donnell Beverly. Donnell attacks the big man, puts it up and in. Donnell Beverly, the offense tonight. Now you see again the Olympians coming with the pressure. LaSalle nearly breaks it, gets it down to Moore. He blows the layup, ball's loose. And again, the size of Corbin Moore dominates.
And Corbin Moore just keeping his arms up, keeping that ball in play, and good things happen for him, as he has 14 points.
Got him on the hand that time. No call against LaSalle. Officials not seeing that play.
And a foul
wow,
called
it's
on the other
amazing
side.
what they can see on one side and not see on the other.
Well, I am, okay. Well, I'm speechless. I'm dumbfounded.
Now here's Brucalari.
That's a touch? That's
Yeah.
a foul? I'm sorry. I don't see it.
Well, that's what they call it. Brucalari at the line to shoot 2.
I don't see it.
Can't get the first, and now the Olympians make a couple of substitutions as Miles Allen and Christian Stribling will go off. Dominique Cole and Kevin Hodrick come on. The
Juice
backcourt.
Deason tried to do everything he could on a 4-on-1 break, made a good defensive play, and still gets called.
Wow, shot block there. Can't see Jones' shot puts up, draws a lot of iron and drops in. 57-32, 25-point ball game now. And officials sent.
Corbin Moore is just called for standing. Not a hack, not a block, but just standing there. Now
So that's going to send Donnell to the line to shoot 2. Clock stopped. Wow, after having hit 6 straight, Donnell's missed 2 out of his last 3.
Now Donnell having a terrific game, but unfortunately no one else is. 21 points for Donnell tonight.
Donnell gets the second to go, makes it a 57-33 game on what has not been a Leuzinger Olympia night, as the Griffins of Los Alamitos have truly put on a clinic here.
They certainly have on both ends of the floor.
Crowd urging Lewis to shoot it because they know that he won't. That's a travel now we got. Let's see what happens here. Hodges going to attack the basket, gives it over to Juice Deason. His 3 doesn't go. Deason comes down with it. Had to have been held on the play. Late whistle.
Now,
But one
Obregon
nonetheless.
was reluctant to make that call, but he had to.
And so that whistle forces LaSalle into a timeout, or gives them reason to call a timeout, as you see head coach Russ May gathering his troops.
And Russ May, in his 5th year, along with Reggie Morris, two of the great young coaches in the CIF Southern section, Rufus. And boy, what a contrast right now. But you know what? This Los Alamitos had a tradition already, and Reggie Morris is building a foundation of tradition here, rebuilding the foundation of tradition here at Leuzinger.
And he's absolutely done that. We certainly know the success that the program has enjoyed over the last couple of years. Certainly last year, did no excuse. They, in fact, did a huge favor for LaSalle in terms of playing a very good Redlands East Valley team till they wore them out and set the table for LaSalle to go on.
That was a war.
So the Olympians inbounding underneath. That's Deason. Gets it out top to Donnell Beverly. Donnell, boy, his arm was held, but no call. Hodrick Dominique Coy can't control it, so it goes off of him, goes the other way to the Griffins. Griffins now setting up their pressure full court. They get it to the big man. Wow, Cameron Jones has just been on fire tonight. I mean, this is his gym.
Just when you thought Cameron Jones was in trouble, he comes out smelling like a rose.
Yeah, because he was pinned way underneath the basket. Somehow or another able to get it away. Hodrick down on the baseline, gets it back out to Donnell. Strings with the shot, string shot, put up. Wow, comes out. That shot put up wasn't go for the Olympians. Now they're gonna try it again. A lot of swinging at the ball.
Derek Strings finally making that bucket. And now timeout on the floor as we have an injured Olympian. Kevin Hodrick got whacked in the head on that exchange underneath. A lot of big guys under there.
24-point ball game. Quite frankly, fans, to put this in perspective, as you see, first of all, Kevin Hodrick there on our screen, holding his jersey to his eye.
A lot of elbows flying up there.
A lot of elbows. Again, the lineup that's on the floor now, there's a minute 42. And Morris seeing the lineup that they have, knowing that he can pressure this bunch, starts to show it. Lewis gets it across Bucalari over to Cameron Jones. Cameron Jones gets a baseline to Corbin Moore.
Wow.
And boy, that's just too easy. That's almost automatic there. Donnell's shot doesn't go. Bucalari comes down with it, and they throw it away.
Might have been tipped off his strings. Let's see. Well, Obregon was down in the corner running away, so he'll probably call it for LaSalle.
Well.
Yep.
And now they changed the call. Neither guy saw it. You would assume then, let's make it a jump
Reggie
ball,
Morris
go to
is
the
saying,
arrow.
what the heck is going?
The possession arrow favors the Olympians.
Well, I thought it did go off of Derek Strings' finger, but...
Well, but they didn't see that.
That's right.
That was the point. And when you don't see it, go to the arrow. Shot comes down, goes to the Olympians. Beverly brings it up. Donnell Beverly attacks the basket. He was bumped along the way. Nothing for his trouble. 24-point game.
Well,
Olympians trying to force a couple of turnovers here if they can.
By my count, Corbin Moore should be out of the ball game on fouls.
Near steal there by Juice Deason. 14 on the shot clock, 40 on the game clock.
Tom Strickfadden in the hizzy.
Jones gets underneath. Boy, they've not had an answer for Cameron Jones, who's played an outstanding game tonight. 25 seconds left, shot clock put to sleep. The Griffins with 63 on the board. There's a steal. That shot put up. Ratliff didn't know the clock, I don't think, but it goes for him as he thought the shot clock was about to expire. So right now, everything going the way of the LaSalle Griffins. Beverly shot put up. It doesn't go.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, Rufus, is the LaSalle crowd was trying to fake out the Olympians by counting down the clock, counting down the time, getting them to hurry up and shoot.
Yep.
Ratliff was listening to his own crowd, and that's why he shot it from 2/3 length.
Well, you like to give credit where credit is due, and I got to say this, Lee. You got to give a lot of credit to the performance of the LaSalle Griffins through 3 quarters tonight, as our score at the end of 3 stands at 65-37. You know, one of the things we talked about in the early going, we asked Reggie, and you did, about some of the guys who are not here. And he certainly, first of all, he immediately dismissed using that as an excuse.
He certainly
talking
did.
about Deshaun Freeman, or talking about Ralph Horton, or any of the other guys who were part of this program. And instead, he focused on the young men who stayed here, who've contributed to the program. And not that those guys didn't, but the guys who are here right now. And that's what you do. And he said, this is the card we have. This is the card we're going to play.
Well, he said it pretty emphatically that the guys that are here, that's a testament to their fortitude, not only on the hardwood, but also in the classroom. And he's trying to build a tradition here. And win, lose, or draw with the guys he's got, he's very proud of the guys in the white jerseys that are playing for him.
Well, when you've got the likes of Doro Wright that have graduated from this program, Russell Westbrook, and in this crop that's coming out, Donnell Beverly, Juice Deason, Derek Strings, you have every reason to be proud of what you're doing and what you're able to accomplish. That shot put up and in by the smallest man on the court, Juice Deason, and once again, they come with the pressure.
And he's all heart.
They get underneath, near steal by Dominique Coy. They swing it back to Lewis. Lewis won't shoot, but boy, they get it too.
Yeah, I like the way the Olympians are coming out and attacking here in the 4th quarter, and it pays off. They get the turnover.
Absolutely. Still got a long mountain to climb, but I think the main thing that we want to see them do is play with the pride and poise that's reflective of this program. And we know that they didn't do that. I mean, there's absolutely no quit in this dog.
Now, surprisingly, Derek Strings isn't in the ball game to start off this quarter. Nice play.
And
Coy knows he should have had that one.
well, he knows he should have had it, boy, but I can tell you he was certainly hit on the back of the hand. That wasn't seen, though, so we go the other way. LaSalle now will do what most good teams do in this situation. They're going to take the air out the ball. Turnover force there.
Now
Coy
the
with
Griffins
it.
just get back in a hurry on all ends. Boy, Miles Allen saved the bacon there.
Going inside, Donnell can't get it to go, so he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Started out strong at the free throw line. Lou, last couple trips haven't been as kind to him as he's gone 2 out of his last 4.
Donnell with 24 points tonight, Rufus. And that's foul number 4 on Amberry.
Foul number 4 on Amberry, probably certainly a case of too little, too late. If you're looking at the foul situation against the big man. So, Donnell a little bit tired. How do I know that? You can tell by the free throw form and his shots. I mean, in the first half, Donnell was nothing but net. And right now, he's drawing a lot of iron and clanging. But again, that's just because of the effort he's given tonight, Lou.
Yeah, those arms are probably getting a little bit rubbery, but he has 25 points to show for it.
Here's a steal again. That's the defense of the Olympians. They get it underneath, score the basket. Let's see what else they can force. Once
Now
again,
that's
the
the
pressure deep. Man, near steal that time by the Olympians. Ratliff has it. And that forces the Griffins into a timeout at the 6:12 mark of the 4th quarter. A score of 65-43. Do the Olympians, who have one more run to make this thing, give the fans a little something that maybe the fans could get them over the hump if they can get close.
Well, it'd be nice to, because now the Griffins are out of fouls, and also Rudy May felt he had to call a timeout because with 28 seconds left on the shot clock, his team was still trapped about 92 feet away and from the basket, and they had to get across that timeline. Only had 3 seconds left of that full court pressure. So the heart of the Olympians is still beating. Let's see if they can gain it on the run these LaSalle Griffins down at the last second.
And we're going to see. It's right here. All we can do is watch and see what happens. I think they've got a run left in them. I really do, of the Olympians.
Now we've seen this team come back time and time again. And there's the guy that's protecting the inbound that's going to have to start getting it done.
And there's still Brooke Larry pushes it up. Brooke Larry not a ball handler. None of these guys are. Comes off Olympians, boy. They finally come down with a rebound. Hodrick has it. Hodrick goes to the basket, puts it up and in. So the Olympians are finally making a run. Is it a matter of too little, too late? As we see the defense there, steal by Miles Allen. There's a hole, no call. There's a push, no call. Obregon's got to move along that baseline if he wants to see what's going on out there.
There's another hack.
Another one right there. More riding and no call, boy.
And Miles Allen.
If they let him play like this in the first half, Lou, right now the score would be different. I can guarantee you that. You know?
That's true. That's true. But it's got to be called both ways, Rufus.
And it's got to be called the same way the whole game. They're going to lose, you know. Wow. Enough said on that, because I'm sure.
Well, I started it, and I usually
don't.
don't.
Go the other way.
It's going to go the other way. That's the 7th turnover in this half, number 12 overall.
Our score is 65-46, 5:18 left. Boy, wouldn't a Derek Strings three-pointer be nice right about now?
Here comes their stopper, the Griffin stopper, Ratliff in for Davis.
Let me tell you something. Doing's good, but this is a challenge. I don't think the likes of these guys that are out here is something that he's ready for.
Also tell you what's happened, Rufus, is that the crowd on our side, the Olympian side, has really quieted down the Lozelle side.
Miles Allen gets inside. Hodrick not ready. Goes off of Hodrick.
Yep.
Wow, a missed opportunity there for the Olympians. They're going to stay with the full court pressure. The big men are back, and I'm not sure that this necessarily aids the cause anymore. They get it over here. Ball goes out of bounds off.
Went off of Donnell's arm.
Well, it went off his arm. Randy Allen appealing for some help. Obregon doesn't have not quite sure what it's going to be now. They say, okay, it'll be LaSalle ball. Rive Lewis with it. Dylan Ratliff from the side, puts it up, doesn't go. Chance for the Olympians to run. Miles Allen decides to pull it out, gives it off to Donnell Beverly. His three-pointer goes way down, doesn't stay down, though.
Corbin looked like he went over the top.
Now they get it underneath to Amberry. Amberry trapped underneath. That one comes off. Donnell Beverly has it. Beverly goes straight down the middle, lays it up and in. So, LaSalle stuck on 65. And Hodrick gives him the body. Kevin, if you're going to foul him going to the basket, simple rule of basketball, within the confines of the rules and the game, you can't give him the basket. You got to make sure he earns it at the free throw line.
Well, he did that as Jones Jones used Hodrick there.
Used him, but by the same token, Kevin, you know,
tried
with
to
the
get out
foul
of the way.
There. Yeah.
So a non-shooting foul for Jones. And is this right? An 11-0 run to start the fourth quarter off for the Olympians?
Yeah.
Another
try
turnover.
to come away with it. A lot of hands in it, and that's going to be out of bounds to the Olympians. Boy, they were looking for a quick basket there. Olympians thinking they still got maybe one run left. String still on the floor. Boy. They get it out to Donnell Beverly. Randall Baker in the contest now. Over to Beverly, McCoy with it. Baker looking to go baseline. He's going to have to kick it back out. Kicks it out to Donnell. Donnell goes baseline, and he's held on the play by Cameron Jones, who goes, wow, you called a foul against me? I thought that wasn't
How dare
permitted.
you?
You know?
Well, let me see. It should be of the 1-and-1.
Yeah.
Obregon wanted to get it out of bounds.
So
Donnell Beverly's going to shoot it from the line.
Donnell with a chance to go to the line and
27
shoot
points
two.
tonight.
Darnell converts the front end of the 1-and-1.
Well, Leuzinger has really come out fighting here for their lives, literally.
In the fourth quarter, little boy, if it started the second half like this, it might be in a different circumstance. But what I like is the fact that no matter what happens, you go out swinging.
That's it. That's it. Going on your feet. Going with your boots on.
And if LaSalle thought that this was a Sunset League team that was going to lay down and quit, they've just been surprised. They cut Ratliff off near steal. The big man has it. He throws it up ahead. Jones decides to keep it himself. Pull-up jumper with the right hand. They've not had an answer for Cameron Jones all night tonight.
Yeah, he has 28 points, Rufus.
Strings three-pointer up and in. Boy, wow, it took a long time for Derek to get that. I got to tell you, I'd have played Jones a little bit differently than what they did. And Dylan Ratliff scores the basket on the lay-in, makes it 71-53, an 18-point ball game now. They get it underneath the Hodrick. He lays it up and in, so we're trading baskets. Question is, can the Olympians stop Cameron Jones?
Gonna have to get those turnovers, but yep.
And if they can't, the officials certainly can.
Yeah, that was a good call that time. Because that's just the first personal.
And you watch the replay there. And Donnell Beverly got his money's worth on that one.
He sure did.
Jones converts the front end. 17-point ball game, 2:55 left. Boy, it'd have to be a run of monumental proportions as we have a timeout taken on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 as they don't indicate which team called it yet. So.
Well, Jones is 5 out of 7 from the free throw line tonight. He's an 81% shooter. And again, this is a kid that we're going to be seeing on television somewhere in the country on
absolutely.
Thursdays and Saturdays. And we get an opportunity to do it here tonight. 72-55 as Donnell Beverly with 29 points tonight. Derek Strings, no points in the first half. 7 here in the second half. A big three-pointer. But the Griffins are going to have to do a whole lot of missing. And the Olympians are going to have to make everything from here on in.
Well, while we've also got to pause, let us remind the fans again that the Lady Olympians will be in playoff action as they will be taking on the Foothill team in
the Foothill Knights.
The Foothill Knights in a second round CIF 2007 Girls Basketball Championship game.
I hope they don't hurt my alma mater too bad.
You know, it's a great thing. We saw the Lady Olympians play a couple of times during the season. They had an up and down thing, but it looks like they got it underway. Jones converts the second, takes the lead back out to 18. Strings down in the corner, can't get a shot away. Ball tipped away by Dylan Ratliff.
Now it seems like every time Strings has the ball, there's 2 red jerseys all over him. He's a marked man tonight.
Beverly with it out top, looking for someone to pass it to. 95 Strings. Strings goes right by Amberry like he was nailed to the floor. 16-point ball game. Pressure coming near. Now he's pushing up.
Now wasn't that a football move by Cameron Jones, clearing out Dominique Coy? Oh, I'm sorry. Dominique Coy got called for the foul.
Dominique Coy got called for the foul. And that's
right there, the elbow?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Coy got him on the noggin.
Well, but as they say, the official normally sees the second one because it's certainly the first one got by him on that one, and that was the push-off by Cameron Jones with the off arm.
Well, Jones is so fast, I'm sure that he just missed it. But you and I are both sitting here with glasses on, and we saw it. But, you know, we're not out there wearing striped shirts.
Amberry with the steal. Now they're swinging across court to Davis. He gets it to Cameron Jones. Back to Darrell Davis.
Looks like they're content now to just run some clock off.
Absolutely. That's what they started trying to do early in the fourth, and that worked against them. But here we get it underneath, and Davis can't score it. Ball comes loose, shot block. Now we're going the other way. Juice Deason just flies by these guys, and again,
Miles
I've
Allen.
never seen a team when the whistle blows and they think it's against them that they're incredulous.
That was on Dylan Ratliff. Here comes Miles Allen in. He could have caught, yep, it was on Ratliff. They could have gotten Jones as well. But Miles just taking that and running with it.
So 1:58 left in the contest. 75-57 our score. LaSalle obviously about to get out of here with a win tonight in this second round game, which means that they'll move on to play either Etiwanda or Chino Hills in the next round of the playoffs. Olympians still pressuring the ball though, and they know who the dribblers are, but if they'd had that Juice Deason puts it up and in, blocked in.
Wow.
15-point ball game now. Still pressure on the ball. Jones pushes it up, gives it off. That shot doesn't go.
Somebody, it looks like Jones went over the top of Beverly, and now LaSalle gets the ball. Did I say that? I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's been that kind of night for the Olympians. But when you take the measure of everything that's happened this season, it's been a wonderful season for Reggie and his guys. This one tonight not quite working out the way that they had hoped or expected to, especially having this game at home.
Absolutely. Just a team with a whole lot of experience and a whole lot of height, and more importantly, a whole lot of depth to go with it.
So 19 on the shot clock. LaSalle content to run it out. Sometimes, though, you take your own self out of your game. Stall game not really being their game. They've demonstrated they can get up and down. No reason not to shoot it.
On this Los Alamitos team,
Derek Strings with the three-pointer. But, boy, that's way late on it. You got to pressure right here. There you go. That's what you call letting them earn the foul. That's Dylan Ratliff, but Donnell Beverly bodies him out of bounds, and Obregon with the call. That's going to send Ratliff to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Derek answering some people up in the stands. Where were those couple of threes earlier?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it was a tough night for Derek. Let's face it, you and I, Lou, have seen Ratliff misses the front end of the 1-and-1. The question now is, can Derek get going now? He puts another one up. That one doesn't go. Moore comes down with the rebound, gets it off to Rave Lewis. He gets it up to Cameron Jones. And in a display of fine sportsmanship, the Olympians not give a concession basket, but certainly play within the game. Another shot put up by Strings, and that one doesn't go. 39 seconds left. We'll see how LaSalle plays out the string here. They get it to Amberry cutting under, still there. Beverly has it. Beverly looks to go inside, puts it up, can't get it to go. Moore comes down with it. Moore loses his footing. That should be a travel.
He did
And
travel,
now you've
and he
got-
also sprained his ankle.
And that's the one thing that you don't want to see.
And that was one thought one aspect I was just thinking about, Rufus, is that all of the starters are in here with a huge lead, a 14-point lead. It seems like Coach May might have given his horses a rest for Friday's game. But he's not.
And Akil Quinn is now going to come on for Donnell Beverly as Reggie Morris gives Donnell Beverly an opportunity to come off to an applause from his home crowd as he's put on one heck of a show here tonight, Lou, in his swan song for the Leuzinger Olympians.
And one heck of a career, too, Donnell Beverly with 29 points tonight. Also the major rebounder on this club. He has been the big man all season long, the leader in rebounding, and assists and steals. How about assists? Almost 7 assists a ball game. That's unheard of in these days.
Well, it's nearly unheard of, but Donnell has been certainly one of their statistical leaders in every category. We talked about it a year ago when it was the Russell Westbrook team, that this was Donnell's team to lead into the next season, And, boy, he stepped up and carried the pace. And really, as we started to talk about, the question is, who's the next Olympian that will step up in the 2007 season?
Now, there's going to
carry
be
it from here.
a lot of holes to fill. That's for sure. But Donnell Beverly, he is going to go on to have a terrific career somewhere on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Strings gets a steal, puts it up from the outside. That one put up and in by Stribling. 12-point ball game. They're going to make one final effort at it. Moore gets it underneath, and Corbin Moore with a rare slam dunk. And that brings his parents to his feet, and now they're relieved to know that there is no injury. And that makes our final. The Lawndale Griffins 79, the Leuzinger Olympians 65. Olympians came with it late. Their crowd giving them a tremendous hand because they know that the Olympians put up a good fight. Boy, they had the run in them. They made it. It was little, too late. But boy, having said that, you got to give somebody, if you're saying something in my ear, repeat it, please. Okay. Just want to say you got to give credit, though, to the Los Alamitos Griffins. I mean, they played like the championship team they are. Sunset League champion, defending Division 1A champions as it was, and last year's state quarterfinalists. So they came in, they put on a show, and the Olympians will have to take this one, learn from it, and move on.
A very impressive showing by the Griffins, seeded number 3 in Division 1A, and Coach May said, last year was last year, let's see what we can do now. No one's going to give it to us, and even though the score may reflect it as a 14-point loss for the Olympians, Coach Russ May, you see him right there, they earned this victory tonight. As the starters were out there, it seemed like all night long, as he didn't put in the guys on the bench at all. He just went with the straight number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, and that's about it.
And as you mentioned, boy, the 79-65 final really not as indicative of the difference in the game scoring-wise as it actually was. I mean, LaSalle pretty much enjoyed once they got it cranked up and going, 20-point plus lead throughout it. But as I said, boy, that run that the Olympians made there to start the fourth quarter, boy, you know, a little bit early, a little bit sooner may have made a difference. The big man tired out. If you notice, Amberry wasn't out there. There's a reason he wasn't out there. That's because he was tired. So they got half of what they needed. Couldn't get the other guy, so Corbin Moore stepped up big. But that's that. Let's talk about the Olympians.
Well, why don't we take a timeout first so I could add up some scores?
All right. Well, folks, stay right where you are on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause and come back with the post-game wrap-up right here on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. All right, fans, welcome back for the post-game show on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. This was the CIF Southern Section Division 1A second round of the playoffs here at Lou House. Unfortunately, we couldn't make Lou House stand up as the LaSalle Griffins from the Sunset League come in tonight, Lou, and get out of here with a 79-65 win over the Leuzinger Olympians.
That's right. The torch is not going to burn so brightly tonight, but still a terrific season for the Olympians, ending their season at 18-10. The Griffins fly on to meet the winner of Chino Hills Etowanda tonight, and they improve to 26-4. And I don't think they haven't lost this year. That's now their 18th win in a row. So a very, very impressive basketball team, and again, this team is a well-coached team. They run their offense and their defense. They get back on defense, and there is just no holes on this Griffin team that I saw. And of all the playoff games that we've done, I think top to bottom, this team made the Olympians work a lot harder than any other playoff game that we have seen, including the Redlands and the Bonaventures.
Well, the one thing that they had, Lou, that made all the difference was they had a dynamic inside-outside combination. Inside, you had Corbin Moore and Clint Amberry, and, of course, outside, you had Cameron Jones, who the slasher that he is, but he also had the shot and the handle. So that combination was a little bit much for the Olympians to overcome that and the height advantage that LaSalle had.
That's right, and we'll talk about what it's going to take for the Olympians to come back and reach this level here, because, boy, it's a lot of holes are going to be opened up. Well, they are opened up now, as this is the final game of the season. And how about we go over some of the scoring for tonight?
Hey, have at it.
The Griffins, who win 79-64, were led 34 points from Cameron Jones, almost doubling his point output as he scores over 18 points a ball game. Corbin Moore, the big guy, 6'9". Are you sure he's only 6'9"?
6'9". He was 6'4" in the 4th grade.
In the 4th grade.
Yep.
So he's slowing down. Okay, all right. So 18 points for Corbin Moore, and doing a terrific job on the boards, both on the offense and the defense. And then it was 8 points for Dylan Ratliff, who I thought was the big defensive stopper for the Griffins in the first half for Los Alamitos. Then 7 points for Clint Ambury, and 6 for Darrell Davis, and 2 points for Nick Bercouli. For the Olympians, the 14th seed coming into tonight's game, were led by Donnell Beverly, the captain of the team, and All-Bay League. I'm sure he will be an All-Bay League and probably get some CIF honors as well. At least he should anyway. 29 points for Donnell Beverly, 12 points for Derek Strings, all in the second half. And then 6 points for Juice Deason, all in the 4th quarter, when it was a big quarter for the Olympians, outscoring the Griffins 28-14. And then 3 points for Miles Allen, 2 points for Kristen Stribling, 2 points for Dominique Coy, and also for Kevin Hodrick, 3 for Randall Baker, for a total of 65 points. Well, you've seen this team a lot more than I have. I'm going to ask you this. I know you started to ask me this, but where are the holes? We know where the holes are going to be, especially Donnell Beverly, Miles Allen are leaving, also Derek Strings, Kristen Stribling, Juice Deason, but it's Reggie Morris is just going to have to rebuild this team from scratch, it seems like.
Well, he certainly is, and it will be centered around Deshaun Freeman. We know that Deshaun's going to get his book work in order and will come back in the fall ready to play. He'll be the main guy. You know, the other guys that you look at the roster, Keel Quinn will be expected to do a lot of the point work. Everybody else is on the JV. You know, the program listed DeTwan Smith, but we didn't see much action.
Never saw him really, yeah.
So what it comes down to is Deshaun Freeman and Akeel Quinn are the cornerstones for next year's edition of the Leuzinger Olympians. But it wouldn't be fair to start to talk about that particular squad yet. But as you mentioned, we didn't go through and really talk about a couple of the other seniors. As you mentioned, we know that Strings is leaving. We know that Donnell is leaving, but Randall Baker, Miles Allen, who was a big force in the last game.
That's right. He just kept getting better and better all the time.
He certainly did. D. Morgan made his contributions when given an opportunity. Michael Maythew didn't get a lot of playing time, but was a part of the squad as well, along with Christian Stribling and Kevin Hodrick, and we already mentioned Derek Strings. But talking about Stribling and Hodrick, Kevin Hodrick in particular, I think, as a guy who's a football player, was not a part of the program last year.
Right.
You talk about a kid joining your team and making a difference in terms of what he did. And Kevin did a lot of the dirty work, and he worked underneath in an undersized manner most of the time. But he showed no hesitation about getting in there and mixing it up.
Right, getting in there with that football mentality against the bigger guys, like a Corbin Moore and a Clint Ambury, and just mixing it up. And it was good to see him. And also, you can kind of see that look on his face like, gee, I wish maybe I could have or should have come out here and joined these guys a couple of years earlier.
Sure. And what was good about it, though, was he stepped in. They had 2 guys who really just became a part of the program overnight. That was Hodrick and Derek Strings. You know, I would love to, and maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't, in terms of this was an unstrings-like night. And you got to feel like there was something happening that we didn't know about in regards to Derek. Now, he obviously got warmed up in the 4th, but boy, that was way late. The first half, I mean, like you say, shutout at home is kind of surprising.
Well, it seemed like the Griffins were willing to give Donnell Beverly his points. I mean, he averages 17 points a game, and obviously the top of the cream of the Olympians is Derek Strings with 19.1 points a ball game. All right, let's give Donnell Beverly his points, take away Derek Strings, because every time he got the ball, they were doubling down on him. And then, of course, everything worked out with the large amount of turnovers, 9 turnovers by the Olympians, and most of those turnovers were turned into points by the Griffins, who just really, really know how to finish it off.
Right. And as you see the Griffins fans lead the field, one of the Griffin supporters over there shows you kind of program they got. See Big Jack Haley over there across the side, and I know that his kid is in the Griffin program playing on one of the lower level teams, but Haley out tonight to support the Griffin effort as well. So they'll move on. And while they move on, the Olympians will also move on as well. I can tell you one thing about Reggie Morris and his team. You don't have to fret for them. We talked about a little bit earlier and how he's taken this program and built it from the ground up. It had struggled in
Sure
the few
has.
years before him, but the last 3 years they've turned out some outstanding players and have been a program on the rise, and their fans believed to the very end, and that's what I like to see, and that's what we got to give a little credit to while we're talking. I mean, their fans had every reason, man, when it was down 20 to quit, but they're knowledgeable. They knew what their team was made of, and they knew that there was no quitting their team.
That's
and when
right.
they made their run, the fans came back.
They were right here, and they really put the Los Al fans in their place and had a lot of fun coming out. They opened up with they being the Olympians, opened up the fourth quarter with an 11-0 run to show that, yeah, we're still here. This is our house. You're going to have to take it from us, kicking and screaming if you're going to leave here with a win.
And you know the thing about a defeat like this, and this is the type of coach Reggie is, they'll go back, they'll look at, even though this season's over, he and his staff will study this and study this and study this and figure, okay, next time we run up against this type of situation, which they hope it ain't too often. but the next time they do, and again, they hope it's not too often because it's not often you find guys that have the caliber that Amberry and Moore and Cameron Jones demonstrated tonight. I
Sure.
mean, you know, you and I have sat here and seen a lot of basketball and called a lot for the fans, and I'm not sure that we've seen a triumvirate. That is,
No,
three players
not
on
at
one
all.
team that put together are as good as they are.
This is a once-in-a-generation team for a school, and you see that to happen maybe every 4, 6, 10 years for a high school team. But you have a tradition at Los Alamitos that you know very well, that has a foundation that goes very deep and very, very long, all the way past when J.T. Snow was in it, and all the way up to now with Clint Amberry, Cameron Jones, and Corbin Moore, 3 guys at least that we're going to be seeing on Thursdays and Saturdays. But this Leuzinger team, you've seen it in the good, in the bad days, when all of the players such as a Kristen Stribling or Donnell Beverly, heck, even a Miles Allen, were recruited to other schools in the area.
Yeah.
And now they're staying home because of one guy, Reggie Morris.
You got that right. And you got guys who are wanting to come here. And, of course, this program is one that does everything the right way on the up and up. So the guy lives in the area and he's got talent. The other thing, we talked about this before, although Reggie went with a short bench tonight, he coached according to the situation. But kids who come here know that with the style of ball that they play, the 94 feet of defense all the time, and the run and gun as well as the half court, that if you make the team, and that's the bottom line, if you make the team, you're going to get the play, and that's all you can ask for.
That's right, and all you got to do is stay in school and make sure the grades are where they're supposed to be, because there's a kid up in Westwood right now who's doing not too bad. He's in the running for freshman of the year.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes to kill. They got a little Griffin over here. We've talked to the fans about him for a long time. And with everybody's permission, I'm going to give him about 2 seconds of camera time to get him in here to ask him what it feels like to be on the winning side tonight, especially when Dad had leanings kind of the other way.
Well, go ahead.
You want to come in here? We're going to tuck him in here for a second.
Now, this is a young man that we've all heard about but never seen. So, sir, will you please sign in? What's your name?
Yes, sir. My name is Branson Washington.
Okay, now we have to get Jose to turn your microphone up, and then everything will be good.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it's not plugged in yet somewhere, or, well, anyway. Hey, Dad, why don't you let me interview? Well, here, you interview him.
Well, we'll both do it. I'll let you ask a couple of questions. First thing, I think we had a little difference of opinion on this. How's it feel to be on the winning side tonight?
Well, it does feel good to have my school win the game, but it was kind of interesting how Coach May decided to put the team into a 2-3 zone because I didn't expect that, and he actually played into Leuzinger's hand by running at the end, but they couldn't catch back up. So it was good to see my team win.
Now you're demonstrating a little basketball knowledge. I mean, don't show too much. It sounds like you're trying to take my job. Now, having said that, was anybody on the team that you saw tonight that you thought on the for the Griffins that you thought was particularly impressive?
I thought Cameron Jones handled the 2-3, not the 2-3 zone, but he broke the press really well, and he was able to dribble. And Rave Lewis, the little Rave Lewis, he was doing well too.
Rave doesn't like to shoot, though, huh?
No, he does not like to shoot, but he can't pass the ball.
All right, and the rest of the guys played good as well. So tomorrow at school, what will that be like?
We'll be celebrating at school, I know for sure.
Okay, well, that's enough time for you. I'm going to let Lou get in here real quick and see if he's got anything you want to get to you while we try to see. But anyway, fans, you've heard me talk about him a lot. I just wanted you to have a chance to meet him. This is Bratton Washington, my son. Of course, he's a LaSalle Griffin. That's because we live over there. But now he does well, and I've told you before, football player, track player, did play basketball, but we gave one of them up. Did seeing the action tonight kind of make you want to be out there?
Yeah, it makes me wish I was still playing basketball, but I still enjoy running track and playing football. Hopefully get state this year for track and field. So.
All right. Well, certainly the best of luck to you, and thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
On Hawthorne Lawndale Cable Channel 22. Brandon Washington fans, can you see the resemblance? Yeah. Wow, look at that. Woo! Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot,
Thank
guy.
you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank goodness that the junior didn't get hit with the ugly stick that you did.
He's a good kid, and actually it was fun for me to give the fans a chance to meet him. Now, as we wrap up, because it looks like the Olympians are going to call it a night, and they're saying, let's do a player of the game. Well, that's as easy as it can get.
That's right.
You know?
Number 2, Donnell Beverly in his final game. That's my vote.
Well, that's certainly my vote as well. Donnell had an outstanding game and made all the difference in the world. I wanted to say for the prior game. So Donnell Beverly, player of the game in this game against the LaSalle Griffins. I didn't name one in the prior game
Shame on you.
that I did, but I will tell you who it was.
Okay.
In my mind's eye, Derek Strings came out the box, had a big second half for the Olympians, got them turned around. But the guy that really impressed me, kind of like you talked about the defensive play tonight of Dylan Ratliff on the other side, was Miles Allen against Julian Stone of Dos Pueblos. So for the Dos Pueblos game, you're going to name Miles Allen as the player of the game. And now just to put one more bow tie, I'm going to go back 2 games because we didn't do the Hawthorne game, the Hawthorne playoff game.
Yeah, I
not the one from the other night, but a couple of nights ago when Beto Duran and I did the game.
Okay.
And in that game, Michael Gill, really, with only 6 points, but 6 large points, put him over the top. So you got Michael Gill for Hawthorne, player of the game a few games ago. Miles Allen, who was player of the game against Dos Pueblos. And tonight, fitting as it was, the guy whose team this actually was. And I tell you, when they were up against a very good team, and that's what you want to see. And I think that's an appropriate note to close on, is to talk about Donnell Beverly as the leader of this team. He led the fight the whole night long. And I think that gave encouragement to his teammates when they were maybe short on encouragement because of the way it was going. And Donnell had no quit. He's my vote and yours, and I think everybody's choice for player of the game tonight.
Absolutely. He certainly showed that this was his team, as last year he deferred to the senior leader, Russell Westbrook. But those two were like peas and carrots last year, watching them play, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching Donnell grow into that leadership role and finally embracing it and getting the Olympians to those 18 wins.
Well, before we wrap it up, why don't we take a moment to see if they want to get anybody in here from the losing Olympian side, you think, to with a final word. So we'll take a quick pause and for the cause, and we'll be right back in just a moment on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
Back here at Lou House, where the Olympians go down to the Griffins of Los Alamitos 79-65, and with us is the captain of the Olympians, and Donnell Beverly. 29 points tonight. I know that's not the way you wanted to see it go down, but these Griffins were just all over the place tonight.
Yeah, they played us hard, but we played hard in the end. We didn't execute on defense, and like the first half, so that's what really messed us up.
Yeah, you had quite a few turnovers, it seemed like, too, and they just cashed them in. But in that fourth quarter, you guys came out and said, it was like you guys were saying, this is our house, this is our, if you want this win, you're going to have to really take it out of our teeth to get this out of here.
Yeah, we coming out the cutout at the end of the third quarter. I told my teammates like it's not over still. Even though how big their lead was, we still could come back if we just keep fighting hard. And we fighting hard, but it wasn't hard enough.
Yeah, well, seemed like their inside play with big old number 44 in there all night, swatting things away and getting them done. He was just a big force underneath, huh?
Yeah, we worked all week on boxing out, and in the first half, I think they had like 16 offensive rebound points. So that really killed us at the end of the game too.
So if you could have done the first quarter over again, what would you have done different?
We would have played hard like we played in the fourth quarter, and we would have won probably by like 20.
Yeah, you think so? Well, that
I think so.
that was impressive, and it seemed like every time Derek Strings had the ball, they were doubling down on him too. So yeah, it was just he was really just no factor there in the first half.
Yeah, they knew what we was looking to do. Well, they knew what he was looking to do too. As when he catch the ball, they already had it planned. So they was locking him up. So I tried to take over the game in the first half, and I was scoring a little bit. Then I tried to get my teammates going because nobody else was really scoring. I was trying to get my teammates going so they could get in the game, but it was a little too late.
Yeah. Well, you end your career here with 18 wins, your team, and this was really a huge foundation that you're really building here with Coach Reggie Morris. I mean, he's been here 5 years. You've known him for quite a while, I'm sure. What do you think of the job that he's been doing here?
I think he did a great job. I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here under a coach like him, and I don't know what else to say.
Well, he's been keeping the guys here at home, and that's the big thing, isn't it? And now guys, are they wanting to come here to play? I mean, geez, Derek Strings comes here. You had Brandon Bradley transferred over here, although that didn't work out for him. But now guys are wanting to come here.
Yeah, and the program is getting bigger and bigger every year. So it's going to get there. We're going to win one.
Yeah, I know it hurts right now, buddy, but what about next year? Any thoughts about what's going to happen with Donnell Beverly for next year?
Well, go ahead and play Division I basketball. This time of the year, by the time the spring come, I've been and chose my school, and I'll just let you guys know when I choose.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to knowing where you're going to go. Hopefully we know that it's going to be a terrific school. That's for sure. Well, Donnell, I don't want to keep you too long here, so thanks for joining us tonight. And you are Ralph's Food for Less player of the game with 29 points, and congratulations for the thrills that you gave us for the 3 years that we get to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Donnell Beverly, the captain of the Leuzinger Olympians tonight, and we will be back with more right after this on Channel 22 Sports.
All right, fans, we're back for the wrap-up of tonight's post-game show here at Leuzinger High School. As once again, our final, the Griffins of Los Alamitos 79, the Leuzinger Olympians 65 in this second-round Division 1A playoff game 2007. What it all means, long story short, Lou, is that season's over for the Olympians, it's over for the Hawthorne Cougars, and it's over for the Lawndale Cardinals. But it was one heck of a run for all three schools, and I think most importantly, as we bring it to a conclusion, to remind the fans that it's folks like Larry Benda and Hawthorne and Lawndale's community cable corporations that make it possible for you and I to do what we do, and more importantly, for them to enjoy seeing these young members of the community perform week in and week out.
Oh, it sure is, and it's also I get a big kick out of it watching the young men and women play on Channel 22 Sports and getting to meet them and meet their families, and also to meet everybody here. And again, I still feel like the new kid on the block, as you're going to be going into your 20th year next year.
Don't remind me.
And Tom Strickfaden treating me like an old friend. So I want to thank Larry and Tom and everybody with the crew that's welcomed me in. and thank you for welcoming me and Rufus continually into your home at least once a week.
Let's let them know, and you got the names better than I do, the entire crew. We know we see Eric over there and Paul Knapp and Ryan and Francisco, but the rest of them, because those are also the guys that make it happen
Boy,
and make this thing top shelf.
Well, let's see. We got Sam and Rico, and let's see. Well, there's Norma, and Jose, and Alonzo, and Paul, and Eric, and Josh, and Ryan, and let's see. Who am I leaving out? Somebody, and Alonzo. Alonzo, okay. Somebody is making some noises in there, like they got a hairball in the background. And Tom Strickfadden, and it looks like we also have another man who helps us out a whole lot, and we want to thank him, Reggie Morris. We also want to thank all the coaches that we deal with, too, all the athletic directors from Hawthorne and Lawndale and here at Leuzinger. And do we have another guest coming in with us tonight?
Well, we got the man himself, the head coach, Reggie Morris, and I think that's probably as good a way to take it out as we can. I tell you what, Lou. Okay, tell you what. Handheld's working, so Rich, why don't you just jump in the middle?
There you go.
Appreciate it. While Lou's getting himself together, I'm going to ask the easy questions. He's going to ask the hard ones, just so you know which way they're coming from. You know.
Thanks. So you can give me the back end.
Now, first of all, Rich, game's over. You know, again, you guys played game, came up a little bit short tonight. How'd you assess what happened out there?
To me, it looked like it was just they played a great game. You can't really take anything away from them. My hat's off to them. They played a wonderful game where they did all the things early that they needed to do. For the first 3 quarters, it really looked like they just kind of wanted it more than us. And, you know, you can't coach anything about that. That's one of the things that I'm real proud of in my team is usually we go out there and we fight with the best of them, and we showed that in the 4th quarter. But by that time, we had dug ourselves too big a hole.
Absolutely outscored them 28-14 in the 4th. I just have one question, and I know every fan would ask the same thing. Boy, Derek took a long time to get cranked up. Was anything happening with him, or was it just what they were doing?
I don't know. Just I guess it didn't really go his way this evening. We try to do things. You know, our whole offense is generally evolved around him and Donnell, and you know I don't know. Maybe they took him away. We did some things to get him the ball. It just wasn't his night.
And it just seemed like, well, you guys had the opportunities, but turnovers, that was played a big part. And like you said, Los Alamitos has played the game of their life. It seemed like nothing went wrong for them tonight as they turned all your turnovers, it seemed like, into points.
As a fair assessment of it all, you know, they took our game plan from us and used it against us, and they used turnovers that we weren't expecting to make, and they turned them. Not only did they get turnovers from us, but they got them and turned them into scores. So, you know, in order for you to not allow a team to play their game of their life, you know, it's still the competition. You got to do something. You got to step up and do something about it. And, you know, we didn't answer the call until late, until we were really on the ropes. And, you know, I'm proud that our guys were at least able to do that and show some pride and show that there was no quit.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, Rufus,
No.
but we talked about this earlier in the game. There's some guys that didn't make it to this point on your team, but that gave opportunities for other young men like Miles Allen and Kevin Hodrick to show what they were really made of. Also, Akil Quinn, Juice Deason, opportunities, and Deshaun Freeman to really show what they could do.
Well, actually, we were minus Deshaun Freeman. We started the season out with about 14 guys. We finished with 11. We were missing about 3 particular guys that might have been able to start for us. But, you know, like I was explaining to you earlier, what we do here at our program is we try to eliminate those who aren't going to do the things that they need to do. You know, this isn't for everybody. You know, being on a winning team and a winning program, being a successful young man isn't for everybody, you know, not as far as being successful in life, but, you know, when you come in battles like this, you want to know who you're going to battle with. And some people have things that go on with their character that we just don't allow in our program. And so all those that finish with us, we're very proud of what they've accomplished, and we know that the young men that they'll be. And, you know, we wish those other young men all the luck in the world and all the help, and I'm still there for them. But, you know, as far as, you know, they let their teammates down on some of the things that they could have stepped up and been helpful and done the things and been part of a team. But, you know, in order to be a champion, there's only one champion, and so you have to prepare yourself like that every day and not when it's convenient for you.
Well, that's Appreciate your candor on that answer.
Yeah.
That's not an easy answer to
Oh
to
no,
this
that's
question.
we're in the business of that. You know, not, just being a coach isn't about throwing the balls out and showing a guy how to shoot or showing a guy how to dribble. You got to try to at least show guys how to be young men, and you know they're all symbolic and they indicate what type of person you are. At the end of the day, those guys are going to represent me, and so I have to feel comfortable with those guys that represent me in the best way.
Well, it sure showed, especially when the clock counted all the way down to 0 tonight.
Right. Reggie, and you're talking about the guys who play for you. You know, if you go through the roster, what the fans want, at least a sneak preview, and this one's just about over. What does next year look like?
Next year you can throw out whatever you have here, and we got to figure out something new to do. But the interesting part about that is in our area, it seems like everybody is going to have to do that. There's maybe one team, maybe Bishop Montgomery is the only team that's holding young players, and everybody else has got to rebuild and go from there. And so we got a great young JV team. Our JV team won the league championship. You know, some of those guys are ready next year. Some of those guys will be ready the year after that. You know, we got to just get in the gym and work. And, you know,
Right.
what's the one thing we take pride here at Leuzinger is that guys will start one way and all our players get better all the time. You know, from the Darrell Wrights, the Russell Westbrooks, the Donnell Beverly, and you know, there's a lot to be said. Even the Miles Allens, the Juice Deasons, all those guys have started at one point, and you can see the improvement in their game since they've been here over the course of time. So we really work with our guys to get them better, and we do a lot of preparatory things, and that's what role we got to play this summer and this spring and get guys ready for the next time around.
Great. Well, Coach, let me just say, first of all, I know it's a difficult circumstance, but it's a testament, fans, to the kind of coach Reggie Morris is, to take time on a difficult night after a tough playoff loss to come out, visit with us, and give you, the fans, a preview and a recap of what it's like to be a part of the Leuzinger Olympian program. Coach, thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Appreciate you guys being here for another year, and we appreciate your support. Rufus, you and Lou and Tom, we appreciate all the support we get. So thanks a lot, Channel 22.
All right,
Thanks.
it's our pleasure. That's for sure.
I don't think there's anything else to say on top of that, Lou, except
No,
good night.
Well, yeah. Let's. Where's the box? Do you want to put a bow on it?
Right. There we go.
All right.
Fans, this one's over. This isn't a
That's
bow
it.
tie just for the game. This is the whole season. So for everybody, for Lou, I'm Rufus Washington saying on behalf of the Channel 22 family, it's been a great season, and we'll see you down the road. Good night.